And Jalen from night school said he first got woke when he synced Terminator. Well, let me wake you up with the Terminator. The ruler of the machines, the company that the machines are under is called Skynet. Skynet is the internet. Satellites are in the sky. It spreads a net of information, a network of information, a network of communication. So Skynet is real. What about those robots? Yes, that's what people get turned into when they give up on their souls, when they sell their souls, when they throw their souls away, when they sign up for the satanic agenda of adversarialism. Once they do that, they become a Terminator. The 1980s version, just walking up on you like, I'll be back. And coming back and wreaking havoc. What Kyle Reese said, he was telling Sarah Connor, he said, it cannot be reasoned with, it cannot be bargained with. It came to kill you. It came to destroy you. It came to kill. That's what it does. That's all it does. Remember that? Remember that line? Classic. Shout out to the actor who played Kyle Reese too. Because he was, I mean, that was a whole nother era of cinema where it was all about guys giving their all on the screen. That was connected with machismo, an extreme show of passion, and in an artistic way. That was the culture. So you take some of these elements from Terminator. If you haven't seen it, I'm just throwing a few spoilers out there. It's old school though. I think Canon did it. This is back when films was opening up by Canon, slow motion style to see unfolding, or you get the Paragon effect, all of that. Old school. But the lesson is there. The gems are still there. You still had the portal. You still had CERN. You still had the Travis Scott concert. You still had the entities crossing over through the lightning, through the orb. You still had it happening in the city, in the alleyway. And Kyle Reese did still, they all still came naked, just the way we come into this world, unclothed, with pain, coming through light, coming into darkness, going through the duality, going through the duat, to manifest as a man, as a being, as a human being. And then he threw on the Air Forces after he got dressed. He went in the clothing store, so he went in the garment shop. He went to get his garbs, to get his protection, to get his layers. You got the fig outfits from the Garden of Eden after they ate the knowledge of good and evil. So knowledge and good and evil was like showing up on Earth for Kyle. You had the Air Forces representing flight, representing the forces of the power of the air, to let you know what the war was all about. It was about who can be the god over the power of the air. Satan was not the king of the power of the air. He's the prince of the power of the air. So they're all fighting for the spot of king. So you got that just in the Terminator, the old school Terminator, all of this and much more. But again, those robots, they look like humans. They might look like your friends, your relatives, your coworkers. They might look like the person that you saw down the street, the person at the store, the person around the corner. They might still look like that. But if their body language suggests like extra mechanical and mad roboticism, then you're dealing with a machine. And you know that they gave up and Skynet took over. Then you know that they'll come and blast your club out looking for you. They'll mow your whole crowd down because they're bent on destruction. It's the entities that they signed up to be taken over by that are all destructive like this, that have that Leviathan energy to them, that'll just devour all, that have that Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, the entity that he was dealing with. That kind of energy just devour your whole planet with darkness, just a black cloud. They'll terminate this, terminate that. You having fun? It's here to terminate. You have joy? It's here to terminate. You trying to have a regular good conversation? It's here to terminate. You trying to share your story and connect? It's there to terminate. It's just, they might look human, they might feel human, they might smell human, they might even sound human, but they won't act human. They won't have a human soul. They'll just be a spirit container, blown about by this wind or that wind, batteries in their back, light switches, triggers, programming. That's why I put so much of that redundant programming on a lot of those cartoon characters, because that's where a lot of the brainwashing starts with the MK Ultra program, because it's not something that you can shut off. Even if with the CIA saying they disbanded, the effects of MK Ultra are permanent. There is no reversing that. The only thing you can do is redirect the programming, because consciousness is a stream that you cannot stop. You can't even stop consciousness when you're asleep. When you're unconscious, you're still conscious. You be sleeping, still having dreams vividly, could remember them, could make sense of your life based on them, etc. All Skynet stuff, all astral realm, because all of this, like a lot of people say, and I know it sounds very, very far-fetched, but this world, this earth, it works very much like a computer, like software. You'd be surprised at what things happen just based on what you believe, just based on what you follow. It's almost like your whole world will just conform itself to fit your will. If you burn your will onto the image of your life, if you can really impress and intensify your will enough to project that image and live it, not faking it till you make it, jumping into the character until it becomes permanent. And I'm talking about permanent, like Heath Ledger Joker, permanent. Jeff Bridges Thunder and Lightfoot, permanent. You want to go into the altar, ALTAR, because that's your ALTAR. You want to go into that altar and make that change permanent, a bigger part of you. Your higher self will lead you. So this and many more. I mean, there's just so much. Sarah, then you have the two nations being born in the womb of Sarah. If you connect that to the Old Testament, Sarah Connor. So you have that. And what does Sarah have to do in order to beat the machine in the first one? She had to con it. The machine had no sense of knowing like the intricacy of puzzles and everything. It was just a grid reading humans and distancing them for attack. But it couldn't have a full understanding as a human understands in terms of how the world is and how to react to it. It wasn't human. It was a machine. So what that means is common sense will be lacking from those who are roboticized. Common sense will be lacking from those who are roboticized. So you can look for that too. But yeah, Sarah had to Connor a dark manifestation energy, a dark reception. This doesn't mean like female, but her name was Sarah. That's the first. That's the two nations out of the womb, the promised mother, Sarah. And yeah, Sarah, the mother of Isaac, according to the jewel-ish promise. To be a jewel, you have promised kids. You have a promised legacy. You build yourself based on promises. All in the Skynet, all in this, in James Cameron's universe. Because each director like that who writes, they actually write software. They're automatically programmers. Anybody who writes a film that does anything good, they automatically at the programmer level, because that's the power that the symbolism behind each film has. When you watch it in the theater, the whole theater is dark except for the screen and with faint lights along the walkway. But that's already enough to put you all the way under. Even if you're wide awake, smacking on popcorn and sipping on your slushie and popping your goobers and munching on your Twizzlers, no matter what. You could come in there with a pizza. You could come in there with your girl. You could come in there with your kids. You are sound asleep the moment you sit in front of that movie screen. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying when you enter the dream, be lucid during it. Welcome to Skynet.